going to start off by talking about art and photography. Do you like art?
That's interesting. Depends on what.
That's interesting. Depends on what.
I like cinema, for instance, movies,
I like cinema, for instance, movies,
music, but I don't know too much about
music, but I don't know too much about paintings or modern art.
paintings or modern art. I'm not too familiar with, so it depends on what kind of.
I'm not too familiar with, so it depends on what kind of art.
Art.
Do you like to take photographs?
Yes. I wouldn't say the photographs are good, but I do enjoy taking pictures.
I wouldn't say the photographs are good, but I do enjoy taking pictures.
Yeah.
Do you prefer to take photos of yourself or other things?
Of other things.
Of other things.
It's kind of hard to take pictures of yourself unless it's a selfie, and that's limited.
It's kind of hard to take pictures of yourself unless it's a selfie, and that's limited.
So, pictures of other things. Well,
So pictures of other things mostly.
mostly.
Now let's talk about animals. Do you like animals?
I love animals. Land animals, friendly, so to speak, animal.
I love animal. Land animals, friendly to so to speak. Animals,
It's not insects and not anything from the ocean.
not insects, and not anything from the oceans.
What is your favorite animal?
Probably a dog. Dogs, for obvious reasons, you can keep them as pets. Probably a dog. Dogs, for obvious reasons, you can keep them as pets.
Probably is a dog. Dogs, for obvious reasons, you can keep them as pet.
In terms of like non-domesticated animals, probably jaguars.
In terms of non-domesticated animals, probably jaguar.
Do you have any animals in your home as pets?
Yes, I have 2 dogs.
Yeah, I have 2 dogs.
They're both from the shelter, the animal shelter. They're rescues.
They're both from the shelter, the animal shelter they rescue.
Yeah, I've always had pets. Our
I've always had pet.
family really likes keeping animals around.
Our family really likes keeping animals around.
Now let's talk about bags. What type of bags do you like?
I prefer purses that are a little bit on the larger side. I prefer purses that are
I prefer purses that are a little bit
on the
larger side,
just
because I like to put
everything of my life in my
everything of my life in my purse.
So it ends up weighing maybe 20 kilos.
So it's enough weighing maybe 12 kilos. 20 kilos.
Yeah, larger bags, probably structured larger bags.
Yeah, larger bags, probably structured. Larger bag.
How often do you carry a bag when you go out?
Every day. I think that's the case for most women. They carry a bag even if you go down to the grocery or the supermarket, you take your bag with you usually, right?
What sort of bags do women like to buy?
It depends.
It depends.
To buy.
It depends. It depends on your outfit. It depends on where you're going.
It depends on your outfit. It depends on where you're going.
For the day, if you're going to the office,
For the day you are going to your office,
you probably want something bigger that can fit your laptop, your phone.
you probably want something bigger that you can fit your laptop, your phone,
Paperwork, everything that you might need during the day.
Paperwork, everything that you might need during the day.
If it's nighttime, you'd want something smaller, like a clutch, something more sleek, elegant.
If it's like nighttime, you would want something smaller, like a clutch, something more sleek, elegant.
So it depends. If you're traveling, you'd want a
So it depends. If you're traveling,
much bigger bag that's able to fit.
you would like a much bigger bag that able to fit
Not just you, but all of your family's stuff as well. So
not just with you, but all of your family stuff as well. So
everything. Women like all kinds of bags. That's why we have so many.
everything, women like all kind of bags.
All kinds of bags. That's why we have so many of them.
That's why we have so many of them.
Now let's talk about birthdays. What did you usually do on your birthday when you were a child?
So when I was a kid,
So when I was a kid,
when I was a child, in school, we had a uniform. Everybody wore a
we have a uniform.
uniform to school.
Everybody wore uniforms to school.
So when it was your birthday,
When it was your birthday,
it was the one day of the year that you were allowed to wear whatever you wanted.
it was the one day of the year that you were allowed to wear whatever you want.
So it was a big deal.
So it was a big deal. Deal.
I mean, at least I would pick out my outfit like 2 months in advance.
I mean, at least I would pick out my outfit 2 months in advance.
It would be like a little dress,
It would be like a little dress,
like a princessy frock,
like a princessy frock,
matching shoes, matching accessories for your hair.
matching shoes, matching accessory for your hair,
And then you would take some kind of chocolate or candy
and then you will take some kind of chocolate or candy to school.
to school, and then you could take like a period off and go and give the candy out to other.
Then
You could take
you could take a period off and go and give the candy out.
like a period off and go and give the candy out to other teachers and other kids in the
To other teachers and other kids in the school.
school, and we looked forward to it every year. It was out to other teachers and other kids in the school, and we looked
And we look forward to it every year.
forward to it every year. It was the highlight to not have to wear the uniform,
It was the highlight to not have to wear the uniforms,
to wear whatever you wanted,
to wear whatever you want,
and to basically be able to skip class and go out.
and basically to be able to skip your class. To basically be able to skip class
And go out and hand out chocolates because it's your birthday.
and go out and hand out chocolates because it's your birthday.
How do you normally celebrate your birthday now?
Very differently. Everyone's allowed to wear whatever they want now.
Everyone allowed to wear whatever they want now.
Also, it's kind of not.
So it's kind of not.
Doesn't have the same charm.
It doesn't have the same charm.
It depends. I like to do a little dinner.
It depends. I like to do a little dinner with my friends.
With my friends. Something low key. I'm not a
Something low-key. I'm not a very big party person.
very big party person. So dinner is usually good.
So dinner is usually good.
Followed by probably like a games night or a
So probably like a game night
movie night at home
or a movie night at home or at the cinema.
or at the cinema. Something low key.
Something low-key.
Do you think it's important to give someone a card on their birthday?
Like a handwritten, like a birthday card.
Like a handwritten, like a birthday card.
I think so, yes, because I'm quite
I think so, yes, because I'm quite sentimental
Sentimental and emotional.
and emotional, so I prefer
So I prefer more emotional, sentimental gifts.
more emotional, sentimental gifts.
So I think if someone takes the time to write something by hand
I think if someone takes time to write something by hand,
for you, I think that, I hold on to stuff like that, so I think it's a very nice,
I hold on to stuff like that, so I think it's a very nice,
thoughtful present to give someone their birthday.
thoughtful present to give someone on their birthday.
The first time I met a new friend, so